You think that the typical workout should be under an hour? Ideally?
I think it should be right about an hour and that's it. Because once you start going over there, that threshold right there, now what happens? You start burning up muscle again because why? You're hungry again. You got to feed the body.
Yeah, how do you like to break up the? Do you go 50% protein, 30 carbs, 20 fat, or do you have a universal?
It just depends on the person, what they like. What's your blood type? If you know, my blood type's O. I'm a meat eater, so I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of meat. I used to eat a lot of meat, which is bad in a sense because why? You never know what your body's gonna happen. Well, you never know what's gonna happen to your body when you're eating too much protein. You know, if you don't go get physicals all the time and get checked, you don't know what you're doing to your inside. You can't see the inside. You only see the shell on the out.
So, Mr. Charles, you mentioned that before, but how did blood work really help with the person determine of the weight?
It just shows you what your body can digest.
You're a believer in the book, Eat Right for Your Type?
Eat right for your blood type, yeah.
I think O's are supposed to have more beef, A's are white meat.
Right.
Yeah. Book that talks about how acidic your belly is and how congruent you are to certain types of protein. That concludes our questions of the week. Continue to submit them. If you got any good questions,
I've never seen a person who's in the keto diet really have gained a lot of muscle because you're putting in too many fats to compensate for the amount of calories you're not getting from the meat.
So none of your top clients have ever done it to get to the top?
No. You know, you have people who's at the top that try it, you know, and then they don't succeed as far because why? They're not getting enough nutrients.
Do you find that your clients need carbs to perform and to get a pump so that they don't get flat?
The thing of it is, you in order to get full, you need what? Carbohydrates to get that full round look that you need. And when you start going just fats, and you can do a combination of keto and carbs, then you get a better pump.
What's your preferred method of cardio?
My preferred method is when you're utilizing the whole body. So I like doing the treadmill, incline, so I can get my whole body into the movement. You're using your arms, using your hips, everything just swaying with movement. Whereas you do most of the time you see people doing what? Propping their body against the machine, relaxing, not doing it right. But if you do the cardio right, and you're making the body move, you burn more calories.
Do you prefer it fasted or post-workout?
I like it post-workout, reason being, because if you train hard and quick like you should do, without long breaks in between, you take up all the glycogen that's in the body anyway. So now you get to burn fat faster.
Do you have like a prescribed heart rate that you generally like to give to a client?
I can't because everybody's individual. You get what suits that client, per se.
Is it possible for someone to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time?
It's not impossible, but it's hard. Simply because if you're trying to lose the weight, you're not trying to put on the muscle. You're not going to be able to put the muscle on. If you want muscle on your body, you got to gain some kind of fat with it. You know, you're not going to just start putting on muscle. No, you got to put on fat, got to work with that for a while, and then next thing you know, your body starts producing a lot more muscle.
I noticed back when you were competing, you're one of the few guys that would not get sloppy in your off season. You're one of the first proponents that you should never really get above 10%. Do you try to stay lean year round, your people?
Well, I tried. Well, you gotta understand, back when I was competing, I had a full-time job. I couldn't afford to get fat and sloppy because I had to work, you know? But I did get heavy at one point, and it almost killed me. I tried to walk the stairs just to see what it felt like. And it proved to me that I had to get my weight back down. So I didn't try too long.
How long do you typically have clients rest between sets?
It just depends on the individual.
You cut them a little more slack on leg day?
Yeah, they're breathing harder, yeah. And I try to kill them when we do leg.
Do you think that vegans can make a lot of progress in bodybuilding? There seems to be a craze in avoiding meat. Some recent movies coming out talking about how vegan is the way to go.
How many people have been paid to say that? You know? Oh, they have a part of the action. Think about this. They always say, oh, this guy's a vegan, that guy's a vegan, he's a pro. Yeah, but he wasn't always a vegan. Name me one of the guys in the States that started out being a vegan and they trained and became a pro. None. They all became a pro when they was eating meat and stuff. Now they're vegans. But how do they place? Mid-range to lower tier, never the upper range. One of the biggest things most people don't do is they never go get blood work done. You want to get your blood work done. Why? Because it lays out what all you need to do, what you need to take in, all the nutrients, everything else that you need to do to make your body grow. Most people don't know. They just start, oh, so-and-so told me this. Well, that guy told me that. So they try to match it together by taking bits and pieces from everybody. You don't need to do that. Get your blood work done. Let someone tell you exactly what your body's deficient in. You got it made.